Pathogens are anything that cause infections. They can be bacteria or virus. Viruses are non-living because they are not made of cells and they can't reproduce on their own. They are made of a nucleic acid core, which can be DNA or RNA, depending on the type of virus, and they have a coat of protein that's protecting that DNA or RNA, and that protein coat is called a capsid. This is the basic structure of a typical virus, where the DNA or RNA is held inside, the protein coat around the outside. It has a tail and these little tail fibers attached to the outside of a cell, and the virus injects its own DNA into the host cell, and that is how it causes the infection and also how it reproduces. Viruses cause human diseases like HIV, the flu, common cold, chickenpox, smallpox, herpes. Any of these are caused by viruses. Other infections are caused by bacteria. There are two kingdoms of bacteria, archaeobacteria and eubacteria. Most human diseases are caused by eubacteria. Things like MRSA, which is a common infection that's transmitted in hospitals and gyms because it's by skin contact. Strep throat, food poisoning is a bacteria that grows on food that's going bad. Tuberculosis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, those are all bacterial infections. There's a lot of vocabulary in learning about how the immune system works. So the first is antibody. An antibody is a protein that your body makes that's used to fight infections. It's made in your blood. An antibiotic is a chemical or a medicine that we can take that stops the growth and reproduction of bacteria. So if you get a bacterial infection, you can go to the doctor and get antibiotics that will help prevent that bacteria from growing and reproducing, so it'll stop that infection. There's not a whole lot you can do about a viral infection because we don't have antivirals. They are in the developing stages, but because viruses can change so quickly, the antiviral is much harder to have to stop the viral infection. A vaccine is what's used to stimulate the production of antibodies, and that's a medicine. It's usually a shot that you can get that will help your body produce the right antibodies to fight that particular infection. Immunization is the use of a vaccine to prevent those specific infections. So it would be tailored, the vaccine would be tailored specifically for that strain of a virus or that bacteria. In your body, you have two types of cells that help with your immune system. Those are your memory cells and your killer cells. The memory cells, their job is to remember what antibodies worked for a particular virus or bacteria. So they are able to tell your body right away which antibody is going to work for that particular infection, whether it's a bacteria or a virus. And then your killer cells are a type of white blood cells that are going to eat your infected cells, and that's how they get rid of the infection. There are two types of immunity. Active immunity is when your body produces its own antibodies, which is what's naturally happening all the time in your body. But there's also passive immunity, where the antibodies are produced by other animals and they're injected into the bloodstream. Or another way that passive immunity works is when the antibodies are passed from the mother to the baby during breastfeeding. So they're getting those antibodies from something else besides their own body making it, would be passive immunity.